I'm trying to see if I can find my little something. Hopefully my Wi-Fi working in here. Not Wi-Fi. I'm on phone service in here. Cut this computer off since I don't need that charger. Y'all gotta forgive me, I ain't got nothing to stand my phone up on. Wanted to pop in for a little bit just because I didn't get to shoot a video today. So wanted to pop on in. And I'm on the road. Gonna be home for a nice little bit after this, but duty calls. For those of y'all that did not know, if you're new here, as a mentor, life coach, consultant, whatever you call it, I work with sports teams. It's one of the things I don't promote it online because I'm not looking for business in the area. In that area, it's kind of just referral. Me being a former college athlete and having made every mistake that an athlete can make and having pro potential but not using it, I go and I talk to athletes just about choices, decisions, consequences, and doing the right thing. Because, you know, they hear from the guys who made it, but sometimes hearing from the guys that didn't make it because of our choices, it helps them out. So that's what I'm on the road doing right now. And be back home soon. But until then, working from the hotel and wanting to pop in just for an hour. Just gonna be on here an hour. I know I always say that. I'll be on here an hour. And then I'll be off of here. House of Jasmine, not really. I don't really collaborate with YouTubers. For one, nobody asked me to collaborate, but then two, it's a lot of things with branding that happens. And so just one of the things I teach in my personal brand course on Tony Gaston Academy is just about protecting your brand. You know, imagine when you think about it, it would have been a great collab to do a collab with, you know, Bill Cosby, you know, and great collab to do a collab with Harvey Weinstein before all the stuff came out. And so that's really why I kind of stay away from collabs, because I really don't know how people live their life. I do interviews, you know, but even with the interviews, it gotta serve a purpose. It got to be to reach a new audience. It got to be to reach something totally different. Like one of the interviews, I had done an interview a long time ago, but they just put it up on one of the other channels. It was total different audience, you know, and so spreading the message. So that's how I go about it. Now, if you have a question, put hashtag Q in front of it. And again, I'm just gonna be on here an hour because I need to call my wife tonight. Want to get to bed at a decent time. I was up late last night, so I'm out here working. I don't want to be looking too crazy. So let me see now. Listen to a woman's influence over 10 times. What? Camille, ooh, you one of the greatest of all time. I ain't never heard of that. Nah, you must be exaggerating. 10 times? Tony, how can I get my son's dad to leave my home that I own? Says rent is too expensive. Cheated on me multiple times and I'm mentally exhausted. Sis, I'm not really sure on that, because that probably falls into like civil law and stuff, civil stuff. So you may have to talk to an attorney or to the police station. And, you know, you may need to be able to talk to somebody in full to share more about him, because that's a dangerous situation. So it will kind of be unwise of me to speak on a situation like evicting a man without knowing the full, complete history and story to know if he cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Y'all got to forgive me. I had to take the light from back there and plug it in over here because I come over here, wasn't no light over here, and I'm like, listen, y'all ain't finna have me doing a podcast in the dark. So I got no light, so hopefully y'all could see me. Mr. Gaston, will you be doing a video for new life coaches? If you're a new life coach through my course, we do monthly calls. Or if you're on mymentor.life, we do monthly calls. Through mymentor.life, we just had one. And I think, videos on YouTube about life coaching, but I probably could do one in the Blessed Business Tribe. So wish I had me some stand. Y'all forgive me. Let me try to stand this here computer up a little bit. Sit it on top of my pants just to have it a little higher. See that ingenuity? That's why we invented so much stuff. I had to fold these pants in half, set this up a little higher. Why would a guy be into a woman who is the age of his older mid-30s and he's mid-40s? Well, you gotta know men. Do you see the way these men out here talking on these podcasts? Are you surprised? Come on now. Come on now. Are you surprised? You hear the way these guys talking today? That ought to be all the answer you need. Linda Brown, God bless you now. God bless you now. Linda Brown, God bless you. Don't want my boys having the same habits as their father, soon to be ex-husband. Their dad and granddad have same characteristics, toxic womanizers. What to do? You got to introduce them. You got to introduce them to resources. On TonyGastonAcademy.com, I got a course for young men 13 to 18. And you got to introduce them to resources so that they see real examples of real men. And one day I may just shoot all the I may make that course free here soon and just tell everybody, hey, you raising a teenage boy, just go get this here course. And I may shoot similar videos and put it on YouTube and just put it on a playlist. Just post them all in one day. So anytime y'all ask, I just could sing to that playlist for young men. And just having heart-to-heart real talk with young men from a virtual mentor perspective. Been dating this older man for about 6 months. Treats me like a queen, from flowers, arrangements, and motivation. I'm 26 and he's 44. Like him, but it's hard for me to see past age difference. Any hope here? Well, I tell you what. If you don't leave that man alone, he gonna be on a podcast in the dark now, because that right there. Now see, that's part of the problem of what they be talking about. That's really why these guys out here mad, because y'all don't be liking them, but you talking to him. Now the reason why he treats you like a queen is because he older than Methuselah. Now 44 is not old; that's very young. But in relation to your age, he old as dirt. He too old for you. And so the reason why he treating you so amazing, this lady got mad at me. She was a Caucasian lady. She really ain't understand how much I be blocking people. I let her live that first time. Oh no, I think I blocked her. Let me stop lying. She goes, see there, this is what I'm talking about. You just be saying stuff and you don't even be knowing. Block. Man, don't come on my page. Y'all forgive me, this elbow. It's been in a sleeve all day, so I ain't got no lotion on. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me get a little lotion for the elbow. Nah, while I'm rolling around in the room in this chair, I can't tell you. I cannot tell you. While I'm rolling around in the room in this chair, I could have got up and walked. So y'all forgive me. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Y'all, let me get a little lotion on these elbows. Now listen to me now. So the reason why older men treat younger women so good is because you reviving him. You reviving him. You bringing him back to life. Just like they say, Stella got a groove back. That's what you doing for him. You bringing him back to life. So he feeling that libido. That libido go to jumping on him. He go to thinking he getting a testosterone deposit from dealing with you. So that's why he do you like that. And so that's all you got to understand. It's kind of like it's your young skin. You see what I mean? So it's like, if you look at my face, I'm 37 years old. If somebody say, Tony, you look 17. What? We like young skin. So as humans, if he 44 and you, what you said, 20 something or 30 something, you so much younger, it's like having something, everybody like a new car versus a old car, you know. So it's really these guys that age and single, and if they haven't had if they ain't got no wife that they done age with, you know, like fine wine, then they want something young to revive them and make them feel alive again. Because they go to looking at their own, they like, oh, 44-year-old woman done been tore out the frame, tore up from the floor up, wore out. So he go to think about that because he looking at his 44. Now, there's some 44-year-old women that's still virgins. It's some that's only been with a couple of men, you know, a few men. It's some that ain't really had no real relationship experience. But just in his mind, if he know he got a lot of miles on him, he looking at women his age, or judging them, thinking they got miles on them, too many miles on them. And so he want to try to get him something that he think could have more miles on her than the 44-year-old do. But that's how he judged it. And that's how, me personally, I'm going to tell you, as a man, as a real man, I think it's kind of irresponsible. Like, I'm 37. If I was a single man, I wouldn't want no woman 27 years old. I want my wife 35. That's now about too young. That's about too young for me. Cause sometimes she like to play too much. And I'd be like, oh my goodness, I should have got somebody my age. Cause she be having too much energy for me sometimes. So I could not imagine having a woman 10 years younger. So that just let me know a man is kind of, he a little in a different space, which I can't say too much about this because my homeboy woman is 10 years or more younger. My barber wife, 10 years or more younger. You know, I know men closely, but in that's what let y'all know I be telling the truth, because my truth be stepping right on the toes of the guys that be right next to me. And when I be talking about that, you know, what have you, age differences, what advice do you have for someone who is trying to change bad habits and life around? First step. Well, Malcolm, what you first got to realize is that any habit that you want to break, it ain't going to kill you to do so. I think a lot of times, you know, our brain is wired to feed into those habits, but first we got to have the knowledge and the understanding that we can do all things, especially through Christ who strengthened us. And so when I want to change my life, I made a decision, and then I said, I'm not going to do this thing unless my body physically forces me to. And then I realized my body didn't physically force me to do anything. And with every passing day, I got stronger. And stuff started to just fall by the wayside. So really, it first comes from a decision. It's not really about a trick in the book. It's not really about none of that. It's about a decision. You know, House of Jasmine on the Q&A nights, it's only for Q&A. So the reason why they'll take you out of there is to try to keep the chat clear, just so we can have questions. So they'll delete everything that's not a question, just because, as you see, it's millions of questions that I'm missing because the chat going so fast. Because when y'all put stuff that's not a question, it move all the questions up. You see how just the extra commentary that people put in. And so I'll try to get as many questions on these as I can. We only got 44 more minutes. My job is taking up a lot of my time physically and mentally. It's impacting, reducing my time with God. What can I do? Don't let nothing take you from God. And what you got to realize is God don't need a bunch of time, because you could talk to God all day. So while you doing your job, in every breath I take, I'm talking to God. In between every sentence I'm talking to God. So you got to realize that God with you all day. You could be talking to God all day. Even while you working, you need to be talking to God. But just get up 15 minutes earlier and just, and lay there and pray. Get on your knees or lay there or whatever, however you pray. And you just say your prayer. God with you all day. So it don't have to be this religiosity. God is a spirit. You're not praying to a man. So a spirit, you talk to a spirit anytime, every time. Am I wrong for not wanting to be honest with my friend about her long distance relationship? After 17 years on and off, he won't commit. Their careers keep them in different cities. Well, no, you're not wrong, because some friends don't know how to handle the truth and they get upset. Now, you say 17 years? Listen, that ain't rocket science. She know that relationship ain't about nothing. But that's better than nothing. So she comfortable where she at because she got something. And some people would rather have half of something than nothing at all. So that's all that is. Just found my boyfriend had a hidden TikTok account and was following 19-year-olds. He's 35. I'm 28. I broke up with him. I'm in shock. Did I exaggerate? Lord forgive me for laughing. Now, Lord forgive me for laughing. You broke up with him over the TikTok? Over the hidden TikTok? Now listen, he definitely got a lesson. He definitely got a lesson for you breaking up with him. But yes, that was a little drastic. It's a TikTok. Okay? It was a TikTok. Now, if you found a nasty app that he subscribed to, if he on the fans site, if he on the hub, then that's totally different. But the TikTok, yeah, that's bad. You need to check them. Have a real heart-to-heart. Let them know this is absolutely 100% unacceptable. Now, you done broke up with him, so you can't just take that back. You got to see if he gonna say, hey, I apologize. Can we work this out? When he say that, now he know that you don't play no games. Cheryl Marie, God bless you. Now he know you don't play no games. Gina Jarelli, God bless your boyfriend. Terrific most of the time. Very kind, but has out of the blue full-on rages. Then acts as if nothing happened. Thoughts. Takes anger out on me. Gina, you're going to have to get on that real quickly. So what my daddy used to tell me, he always used to say, son, in a time of peace, prepare for in a time of peace, prepare for So you're going to have to, when he, right now he calm, you need to have that conversation with him tonight. And you might want to have that conversation over the phone and say, hey, I want to talk to you about, these outbursts that you have. Do you think you need to go to therapy, or is there something else you need to do? Because the last time you had one, that was the last one that I'm going to be able to deal with. And you got to be straight to it. You got to be direct with it. You got to handle that. You can't deal with no type of temper tantrums and all of that. How can I stop obsessing over sleeping with others? Now he active in child's life, but not wanting me. I keep thinking about what he's doing now that he's through with me. You know, you got to feel it. You're gonna have to feel it until you heal it. So process the thoughts, identify with the feelings, think it through, think it through, and get new knowledge in the process. So read the books, take the courses, do all of that. And as you're getting new knowledge, you're gonna start to realize, okay, we weren't a fit. We not meant to be. By you giving him your energy, you blocking your blessings from meeting the one that is for you. So the more you get knowledge, the stronger you're gonna get. Because what knowledge does is it's basically replacing the old thoughts. It's replacing what we thought we knew. And so that's why they say knowledge is power, because the more you learn, the more confident you become. So it's that confidence that's power. Samantha, God bless you. My girlfriends invited me to a speed dating event. Personally, I don't agree with speed dating. Does speed dating prepare you to socialize if you haven't been dating in quite a while? Well, don't do anything you don't agree with. Me personally, I would not do speed dating. I don't really think it's wise to make a hasty decision to have a little minute to talk to somebody and then have to decide on whether you want to get them your number or not when the setting is rushed. Whereas, yeah, if you meet somebody in person, it might not be that long, but at least it's not rushed and you can ask more questions if you want to. You can feel things out. The other thing, at most speed dating events, it's kind of like a different form of online dating. It may be one real man in the event, and a lot of the men might be paid actors by the host, because the host need to make their money. The event planner need to make their money, so they got their cousins in there. They got married men in there. They got, listen, when it comes to event planning, especially right now, well, we supposed to have on masks. So y'all in there looking at each other and at each other eyes blinking. Y'all in there trying to send signals because you got your mask on. And then if not, you could be onto a speedy hospital bed if you in there without the mask on and y'all doing these speed talks. Somebody, all that C-19, Omicron, right in your face. So me personally, I don't recommend it. I just recommend getting out the house, doing the old-fashioned way. Cause let you tell your friends calm down. Why does God bless people who live in willing sin? You say he doesn't bless mess. Well, that right there is contradictory in what you're saying. It just cause something look good don't mean it's a blessing. You got to understand that a snare look like a blessing, but it got a hook in it. So when you go fishing, this fish over here looking at this fish, and this fish over here getting jealous. Oh my goodness, look at that blessing this fish got. Fish run up, doop, bite your bait. Next thing you know, the fish out the air. This fish over here like, oh, ooh, sorry about your luck. Thought you had a blessing. And that's what you got to realize. Like, just because you see people get a new car or get a job, that don't mean they got anything to do with God. That don't mean they got nothing to do with God. So you got to realize God don't bless mess. Because if God bless us in the midst of our willing sin, we'll never come out of sin. So that ain't that ain't biblical sense. God ain't gonna bless nobody in no sin now. He'll give you the strength to come up out it. He'll give you the strength to change your life. And then on the other side of that change, you could get you a blessing. God bless you now, text Coco. Hello, Mr. Tony. I want to know how come an insecure man is the most angry man. It's just when a man is insecure, he's unpredictable. He's unpredictable and he's uncontrollable. And he's insufferable. So insecurity is why a lot of people are put in the ground, meaning from that, the H word, H, put in the ground. Lives are taken from insecurity, not confidence. So that's why, and see, the thing is a man can take you out with his bare hands. So an insecure man is prone to anger. He's prone to being irrational. And so you never want to get too comfortable with an insecure man because you never know what's coming. When you got an insecure man, you got to sleep like this, which technically means you're going to die early because you ain't getting no sleep. Because this how you got to sleep. When you got your insecure man. And me being a man and being a former insecure man, I know about it all too well. And a lot of men insecure and don't know they insecure. They don't think it's insecure. They think it's being a man. They think being controlling and being jealous and them 21 questions and all that, they think that's being a man. They think that mean they care about their woman, and they call it territorial, but it's insecurity. So you got to run from that down. Boy, I need to put Cher in the. So, well, Cher, I need to have Cher on one of them games, win some money with them quick hands. Boy, hey, if y'all don't put the hashtag Q in front of your question, Cher finna get you up out of there. Okay? God bless you now. Chat is for questions now. I know some people, they not to this point in the video because they go to the live and they scroll it back and they watching it, but the chat is live, so they comment and I'm way up here and they way back there. Mother of 5, soon to be divorced, 4 children from ex-husband, not dating. I have my 3 Bs, 6K a year, constantly approached. I'm guessing that's 6 figures. What are men thinking about me with 5 kids and 6K salary? So Cheryl, I'm guessing 6K means 6 figures. Well, it just depends on the man. One is an adjustment, even 1. So 2 mean maturity. So it depends on the man. If the man immature, he might think, how much child support she getting? If the man mature, he gonna say, I got to really love her, because he gonna have to be able to cultivate those personalities and navigate those personalities, and to, hopefully you ain't got the baby kids. Y'all remember the cartoon Baby Kids? The kid was running that man crazy. And so sometimes you can have baby kids. And so that's something to right there. When you got 5 kids, dating really don't need to be on your mind. You really need it because you done had love. You done experienced that. Like, you can't be thirsty to jump back in them. When you got 5 kids, that's a basketball team. That's a starting 5. So you want to focus there first. And a man who want to be with you, you want him to sweep you off your feet. Like, that shouldn't be something that you focus on, because as we know, being parents, it's one child is a handful. I got 2 boys and we all over the place. It's all, you got 5. Now, if you got 5 under 18, really only the ones under 18 count as, to the man as like your responsibilities, like real responsibilities. If they all under 18, then you need to pump your brakes. You need to pump your brakes. You need to focus on getting them schedules together. Make sure, if you got to get you a nanny, assistant, what have you, vet them, background check, all that, do your whole 9, and have your little system. Have your little system. Can 3 kids be a lot? I got 2, and I got help. My wife got help, and it's a lot. So The thing about it is, what we have to realize about love and relationships is it's a gamble. So that's why we're supposed to get all the knowledge we can get before we go into it, because it can cost you everything. And that's why I teach so much on this, because it's a gamble when you're looking for love. And so when we have freedom of choice, but we don't have freedom of consequence. So when you have children, now it's time to then pause, because now your life doesn't isn't about you as much as it is about them, because you brought them in the world without their permission. And so you got to make sure they protected, they're secure, they're prepared, they set up. Because when you go back out, if you focus on dating, then you're going to be half. You're going to be half good at dating, and you're going to be half good at being a parent. And so you got to be able to master the one before you bring in the other. Because the way we are today, especially with all these toxic male voices out here, you got a lot of men that's going to come in and they nasty. So if you mess, you don't know what he into. And a lot of men so much into the nasty movies and Angela, that drive them down some roads that they could be into what you raising. You catch my drift? And I done seen this with women that I know personally, women I done coached, to where they have multiple kids, like 3 or more, and they want to date, and they so ready to date that they blinded and don't see the signs. And the next thing you know, the man that they're dealing with, you see what I mean, is out of line with who they raising. And so you have to be able to take your time. Got to be able to take your time to where you know you got things managed right. Why do so many men lead with, met a professional guy in first class on a flight, discuss work, politics, religion. He invited me out and then led with, I literally slapped him. Now see, listen, sis, listen. Don't ever in your life slap nobody, male or female. Nah, I know you was offended and all of that right there, but you could have lost your life, okay? Because you don't know who you're slapping. Because if somebody gonna come out the mouth like that with you, it's words. Sticks and stones may break my bone, but words will never hurt me. Now, it was offensive, but you could have got your purse and just left. Because if a man crazy enough to lead with that, he could be crazy enough to take you on up out of here. So now you'll get took up out of here over some words. So I want you to remember that, because that may happen in the future. You get your stuff, you go on about your business. And then too, and also now next time, if you meet a man in first class, okay, you got you some money up there in first class now. If talk to him on the phone, get on FaceTime with him. Because see, the thing about it is, a lot of men mind and the nastiness is being reinforced. A lot of it being reinforced is being perpetuated. Like the gentleman in the dark who told men, if you go on a date after nighttime, hey, that right there got to be on the table. So see, this man had that mindset, because this being reinforced, this being taught. So now here you done put physical hands on this man. Now, if he would have put physical hands back, things would have got out of hand. And that man literally could have heard a message like that from the man sitting in the dark and thought that it was okay. And that's why I try to tell these men we got to be careful with our messages. Because one guy came in my comments calling the man in the dark a professional man. He told me I need not speak out against a professional black man, because I could be sending the wrong message to my following. I say that's exactly what I'm doing. Is sending a message. It ain't the wrong message, but I'm speaking out against it because it is absurd. And I'm gonna do that all day, every day, sir. If you don't like it, then get you a ticket. But that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell these men. Now that could have went real bad. And so understand that it's a lot of men that ain't been raised right. And so you got to take your time and you got to keep your distance. You got to get to know a man first before you just jump in his space. Hey, we got 25 minutes left now. Doesn't mean anything when a man spares a woman. Yeah, it mean that either it mean he got a good heart. It mean he's a good dude. He a decent dude. He feels like you're not the one. And so he, instead of lying to you, leading you on, messing up his harvest, he'd say, hey, this not the one. You're not the one. We ought to part ways. And so it mean a good dude. Decent dude, at least. How do I put my best foot forward to date right? Get the knowledge. If you get the knowledge, everything else will fall in place. So get the knowledge, everything else gonna fall in place because you'll know what you're looking at when you see it. Hey, I'm a 23-year-old single mom with 3-year-old son. I am a LVN. Maybe you meant PN. LVN. I feel lost and alone. Any advice? I don't know what LVN mean. That's a nurse. You 23 years old. So what you need to do is you need to get off social media unless you on here getting knowledge. So you need to be able to go on social media, go right to the channels that you know that's gonna teach you something. And anything out of that, you need to stay off of there. The reason why you feeling that way is because you comparing your behind the scenes to other people highlight reel. So you looking at other people your age and other people older than you, and you comparing yourself to them. But if you start to look within and you start to focus on you and you set your own goals and you create a plan of action toward your goals and you stop looking left and stop looking right and you focus on raising your child and you keep your eyes on the prize, you're going to do wonders. You're going to surprise yourself. But comparison, as the quote says, comparison is the thief of joy. I haven't told any of my dates that I'll be a medical doctor when I graduate in May. I want to assess insecurity level of men. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. And I'm not really sure how you're going to assess the insecurity level by not telling them you're not going to see. But being a doctor it's going to work in your favor. And it doesn't matter how a man feel about that. If he insecure, you'll see that. You won't see it if you hide that status. Because he'll still show it. He'll still show it. Now, the thing about telling that you're going to be a medical doctor is that you could get you a gold digging man who don't like you, but stick around because of your trajectory. And see, that's the thing. That's the gamble of looking for love. And that's what I was trying to tell the men who saying they want to know up front before they go on a date if a woman is attracted to them sexually. And I'm trying to tell these men that ain't how this work. We don't know what we gonna get. That's the purpose of dating. To see if you could hit it off, to see what it's gonna be. Ain't nobody gonna come with a whole sign on their forehead of exactly how they feel about you, what they thinking. That's what I'm trying to tell these men. So the same thing go for women. When you go on this here date and you meet these men and you tell them, they say, hey, what do you do? Well, I'm in school. I'm in med school right now, finishing up, or, residency or whatever it is. Oh, okay, cool. Well, if he a doctor, he might, think that's cool. If he a business owner, a hard-working man, he might think that's a cool thing. And then you judge his character. So the way you can tell is what you have to realize is humans can't really fake in its entirety for more than like a year. So if you start dating, everything going good, around that year mark, some signs gonna start to show, if not earlier. Hi, I'm a nurse. Now y'all doing good now. We got doctors on here, nurses on here, six-figure earners, people in first class. Hey, y'all on here doing good. My goodness. I thought I was podemic country. You know, I ain't know y'all on here, y'all with y'all education. I was about to say little education. You know, somebody hating on you, they put little in front of it. Cause I ain't got y'all education. I'm about to call y'all education a little. Destiny, elevation. God bless you now. God bless you. Uh-oh. Almost ended the live, hitting the button. Boyfriend been divorced a year, says marriage scares him. Now see, listen. No, I was about to answer that. But you see how all these successful women in here? But men would rather hate on me than to come on in here, get in the blessed tribe, and meet their wife. They'd rather call me a simp and a panderer than to come on in here and meet their wife. Could have a real connection to where he know this woman is in a place getting her mind fed, not getting told what she want to hear, getting it. It's called right down the middle. Some stuff gonna sting, some stuff it's gonna soothe, it's gonna flatter or battle, but it's gonna be the truth. And sting or soothe. And but see, men don't think like that. They'll rather go to the club, get on a dating site, instead of go to a place of substance and meet a woman of substance. So to y'all fellas that just be passing by and just be being nosy, touch your nose. And if you single, then go and get in the community and do your little networking. Might meet your wife, and at least you know she ain't on no twerking channel. She ain't, she getting knowledge. Dating a man who has an exceptional personality and good qualities. Only setback is our conversations are pretty surface level and aren't as deep as I would like. Can it work? Take the conversation deeper. Take the conversation deeper. All you got to do is ask a better question. So this could hone your conversational skills. Don't just wait on a man, because a man might not know how deep of a conversation you want to have. So he may be trying to walk on eggshells because it's a lot of sensitivity in our world. So a lot of women are extremely sensitive. Like the sister who found her man got a fake TikTok, she broke up with him over a social media site. She just broke up with him. They ain't do no coaching first. They ain't have no, just boom, done. And then the man said something slick out the mouth. She say she, put hands on him. That could have cost her life, or some piece of her health. So a lot of women are sensitive. So when you say this a great guy, seem like, but he tiptoeing, it could be because of it's so many women on edge, because there's so much toxicity in this here world, that a lot of women on edge, and men getting used to seeing women on edge because of these men with these, messages that they putting out here, that's putting women in harm's way. It's putting women on edge, rightfully so. But I'm 40 and only 30-year-old men, professional, successful, approach me. Why don't men my age approach me? Should I try dating a younger man? Seems like a doomed endeavor. You just got to increase your exposure rate. So just, get in some clubs, get in some little other associations, have your little set outings. Go to, get out the house at least 3 times a week. Go to this lounge, go to church, go to Barnes and Noble, go to Starbucks, and just increase your exposure. 30-year-old men approaching you, that's a good sign. It must mean you look younger than your age. It may not be as many 40-year-old men in your area, and a lot of them could be married. A lot of them could be married. So as you increase your exposure rate, you're going to meet other men. Now, what I recommend is not going more than 3 years younger, because women mature faster than men. Women on average are more mature than men. So if you 40, you need a really mature 37-year-old or a man up to 45. But when you increase that exposure, it's going to increase the odds. How do you stay positive in dating in this society? You know, you have to understand that where you have that message, you're going to have these messages over here. And so it's going to be a remnant of men that's doing the right thing and trying to do the right thing, trying to go the right way. And so you just have to keep the faith, and you got to realize that that's on social media. It ain't going to permeate everywhere in society. It's trying to, but you got to know that it's going to be balanced to the scales. And the good thing about seeing that stuff is you kind of gonna learn the mindset. So when you meet a man, you gonna pretty much know on the first date if he is of that mindset, and that's gonna protect you. You're gonna be able to move on about your business. Zen Chi, God bless you now. God bless your sister. They're doing all kinds of good. I met a guy on an app. I live in Austin, Texas. He lives in Dallas, Texas. He is so sweet. Don't talk on the phone because of his block stutter. He texts me every day though. I'm 27. He is 31. So he in your age range by, you know, 1 year. Hey, we got 13 more minutes on here. You see, I'm about to yawn. And so listen to me. You gotta find the words to talk to him on the text and let him know that you okay with his block stutter, that you okay and that you don't mind communicating with him. And if y'all are gonna build something, then he's gonna have to be okay and trust you to understand that he has a block stutter. Now, the thing is, what you have to realize, you met him on an app. That's a red flag. The other thing, what you have to realize is sometimes men lie. I remember going up to a lady in the mall when I was a single man and we had the flip phone. I flipped the phone and I typed on in the text message area, hey, my name is Tony and I got a sore throat and I can't talk right now. So I want to know if I could have your phone number and we could talk later when I get healthy. And she looked at it and smiled, thought it was cute, put her phone number in there. Come to find out, she got an old dope boy boyfriend. I say, woman, you about trying to get me killed. Don't give me your phone number, woman. You got this dope boy. And so I had to get on that. And then she wanted to friend box me because she wanted her a thug. And I wasn't all the way thug enough. But I was lying. I was lying because she had a tiger on her thigh, and just I wasn't sure how to talk to somebody with a tiger on their thigh, or the kitten paws or whatever. I can't remember who had that on their leg. That was a rapper, if it was Lil Kim or somebody. And so I was like, no, I need to come up with some other kind of game. So I faked like I couldn't talk. So I say that to say, got to keep that in mind. YouTube be playing around. How it show you how many people on here. It keep flipping to one person. So I don't know if that's when my service going out or what. It's like, YouTube, will y'all stop playing on here with the nonsense now? Sitting out there in Palo Alto. I'm trying to do my live. They out there in Palo Alto playing. Keep hitting the button. Hey, let's hit the button. Hey, come here now. Assad, come here. Amina, come here. They got this country bumpkin on here. Let's hit the button on him. And then we'll make it go to 1 and we'll see what he does. He might just get off here because we're trying to listen to this anyway. We're trying to watch this other live that's more interesting. And so they keep hitting the button and they keep going to 1, saying one person on here. It's like, YouTube, I know y'all sitting out there watching the live. Stop playing with the lie now. Out there in Palo Alto. Messing around with stuff. Child father haven't seen her since June of last year. Every month he make a different excuse that he have to work overtime or he have things to do. What should I do? Tony, help. Well, you got to shift your mindset, sister, to reality check, bless you. You got to shift your mindset to, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Meaning that you got to see your child as 100% yours because you there. Instead of moderators, y'all could take off now. Y'all could rest for the night. Y'all could rest. We only got 9 minutes left, so y'all could rest. To my moderators, thank you so much for the help tonight. Really appreciate it. But a lot of times it's hard when you waiting on 50. When you feel like 50 and you waiting on 50. So you got to shift your mindset and say, I'm 100. I'm 100 and this on me. And stop telling yourself I'm 50 and I need this other 50 in order to be complete. And so you got to do that. And when you do that, then that mindset shift gonna make you feel 100% responsible. And although it's not fair, life ain't fair. And this the situation you in, so you got to make the best of the situation. And stop waiting on him. Don't have her waiting on him, or him. I can't remember if you say you had a boy or a girl. And you know your child, so you got to speak your child language, and you know when the child ready for the truth, and or a version of the truth. How do I get in the Blessed Business Tribe? Looking for tips. Well, you in this here, so under my video is you may see perks. When you click see perks, it'll open up and you'll see where it say Blessed Tribe. Right up under it say Blessed Business Tribe. And so, does your Birth Your Book course teach you how to create a guided question journal? If not, can you do a video on the Blessed Business Tribe? I can do a video on that, but the Birth Your Book course it won't teach you how to create it because that's your work of art. So you have to make it make sense to you. So my book, 31 Days to Purpose, is basically like a guided question journal to where each day is a different question and it got the lines for you to answer the question. And each question, the questions go in order. So if I want to help you find your purpose, I would say, what would you say? What are your passions? And then I would say, well, what are your gifts? A passion is what you love to do. A gift is what you're naturally good at. You might not be passionate about, though. Okay, you told me your gifts. You told me your passions. Now, how can we marry the two? And then what does that look like in the world? So if you say my gift is writing, my passion is writing, we're going to marry the two. The product is writing a book, starting a blog, writing a screenplay. And then, so my questions guided you to where I wanted you to see, what I wanted you to hear, versus me just telling you. So just make the questions go in order just as it makes sense in your mind. And then have you, somebody that kind of give you some feedback. Single mom of 3, I'm a medical assistant and my kids share separate fathers. One of the guys is keeping my daughter as a secret. It's hard to explain, but if you watch my video, you'll understand. Well, I know I ain't got time to watch a video. And so if the question don't fit in here, then I really ain't gonna be able to help you on that one right there, sister. So this right here, so what you need to do is go to mymentor.life. Mymentor.life. This right here just for little light stuff right here. That right there, Jasmine, that's gonna be a little heavier lifting. So you have to find you a coach on mymentor.life and work with you a coach and talk through that right there. Talk through that. Okay. Deactivated most of social media, have so much peace without it. Will a man find this odd? Not at all. He'll find that very good. He will absolutely love that. My wife didn't used to have social media, and boy, I loved it that. I had it all to myself. And now she got social media, and that social media take up time. You're just on there scrolling, you're looking around, and then all these random ideas coming. So now I'm seeing stuff in my house, and then next thing I know, I see this come offline, and I see this right here idea, and then next thing I know, this come offline. So it's men come to me. I was at a flag football practice. One of the dads come up to me. He say, "Yeah, man, my wife says she want to go to the Atlantis in Bahamas." I say, "Do she follow my wife on Instagram?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "We just was in the Atlantis, Bahamas, and my wife was posting the whole trip." He said, "Oh man, that's where that come from. So she done seen your wife over there." He say, "I'm going home and tell her that I know where this idea come from." He said, "I'm just sitting here wondering, like, why in the world, out the blue, she want to go to the Atlantis in Bahamas?" And that's how social media do us, men and women. But so anybody, I wish I ain't have social media. I wish I could get rid of this social media. Now listen, if my audience is your demographic, you come with the right price. Ooh, let one of these venture capitalists offer me 900,000 for my Instagram that got 900,000 people. All right, y'all. Well, it was nice knowing y'all, and I hope everything, all the videos I done put up, to help you. I'll be talking to y'all later. Do you hear me? I'll be out there social media so fast. But you know, when you gotta reach people, and that's how people know how to get in contact with you, you got to have it. So anybody who could do without social media, you got a job, and your job don't deal with clients online, you get a paycheck whether you got social media or not, delete it. Delete it. I'm telling you now. I mean, you can watch these videos, but even if you need to delete these videos, I ain't gonna be mad at you. I ain't gonna be mad at you. Go on about your business, literally be in my head all day. I learned to love God and do the work and obtain, apply will. Hey, God bless you, now, princess. God bless you, Lord. Pour out in her life, pour out in her life. That right there, that's the mindset right there. You can always see the lotion bottle. This was for my ashy elbows now. For y'all men with your nasty mind, I don't get down like that. I don't get down like that now. I don't deal with Angela. That's for my elbow. You can always see the glass half full, or you can see the glass half empty. It's some women that they come and they see the message, and I'm sharing the reel, and they say, "Oh, this just depressing me. I just ain't gonna never have nobody." And then some women come, like that, and some men come and half full, half empty. So it's all about your perspective and how you see things. Now, it's a good old game on the TV, so I'm about to get on ready to call my wife and get a little bit of the game in my system. Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna end the Q&A. I got a couple minutes. I'm gonna talk to you. Now listen to me. I'm gonna pop on here when I can get on here, and Lord willing, it's gonna be real. It's so much. I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to ride off into the sunset. I'm ready to do something different. But it's the toxicity getting so loud that I realize I can't come down from this work right now. That I got to keep doing the work, because if I shut up, it's the scale's gonna be so unbalanced. And it's a few other, men out here that's trying to help me out and talk some sense. So I got to stay in it so I could help them, and so we could balance these here scales, because we have a lot of we got a lot of toxicity going on. We got a lot of nonsense going on. But I sure been thinking about opening me some other businesses and doing something else, and just go, well, look here, this here do get draining, But I say, you know what? The Lord ain't gave me rest yet. The work got to be done. So I'm going to keep doing the work the best of my ability. And I really appreciate you, to the men and the women, to the fellas who be being quiet but supporting. I appreciate you. Somebody asked that today. And let me explain that before I go now. Let me explain that before I go. Somebody asked it. The lady sent me a clown video. And remember what I told y'all. Remember what I told you. The circus will always have a larger following than the classroom, because a clown is more entertaining than a teacher. Remember that. But a lady sent me a video of a clown, and he talking about, you know, why y'all think it ain't a lot of men that follow and support Tony Gaskins. And he said another brother name. But the other brother name, he said he don't even know that I'm going on 15 years of marriage. The other brother just was caught in a scandal, cheating on his wife. We not the same. We are not the same. But the reason why a lot of men don't support me is because my message is exposing men in the dark. So what men doing in the dark, I'm bringing it to the light. So if a man is not ready to grow, my light is too bright. So it's kind of like a demon running from a righteous spirit. That demon don't want to approach a righteous spirit because spirits repel. So when I come with a light, a man in the dark who trying to stay in the dark gonna run the other way. The only men who gonna support me are men who trying to go into the light with me. And that's what you got to understand. So men think that because it ain't a lot of men being vocal about my message and sharing my message, that mean that my message ain't to help men. No, the men who be here, a lot of times they listening in silence, and they growing and they learning in the dark to come into the light. And they being healed and they working on themselves and they being quiet. And the reason why a lot of times men don't want to share nothing is because it is uncomfortable for a man to speak up for women, and for a man to say, let's be fair, let's be honest, let's walk in love, let's not take advantage. That's such an uncommon message that most men are afraid to carry that message if they not directly being benefited from it. Now, if I told men, hey, come go on tour with me, hey, come do this with me, and they saw where they saw dollar signs and they thought, oh, this might be some money in this, you'll see all kind of men come out the woodwork. And that's what we got today. That's why we got the guys who talking about relationships. There's so many of them, they talking about it the wrong way and on the wrong side, but they doing it because they think they're going to make a lot of money and not realizing they're going to realize there ain't a lot of money in this. It really ain't no money in it. Not if you really trying to be set up, you really trying to be comfortable. You're going to have other businesses. You're going to have other, I got over 50 streams of income. Guys don't know that though, because I'm not a business coach, so I don't teach on that. I stay in my lane and I serve my purpose. But my money come from all different kind of ways. I had 13 companies at one time and have to try to downsize them and try to consolidate a couple of companies that could fit under one umbrella. But I done had 13 companies at one time because guys thinking I'm online just getting wealthy off of relationship talk. I'm trying to create generational wealth. You can't create generational wealth talking about love and relationships. But see, that's the ignorance of some men, that they head so far up they behind and they don't want to grow and learn, so they just want to hate. And the thing about it is men so territorial because, like I say, if a man is insecure, they're going to think that supporting another man make that other man look better than them. Whereas a real man gonna say, if this man talking about something that I can't talk about, something that I don't know a whole lot about, then I'm gonna support him in that lane right here. And then I'm gonna do me in my lane right here. And so if I see a guy talking about something I don't know much about, I'm gonna go watch his videos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm gonna support him in his lane. And then I'm gonna stay in my lane and do me. But the thing is when a man taking and elevating, when a man is elevating manhood, when he elevating and going to another level, if a man want to stay mediocre, then he fears greatness. He fears a man elevating. He fears a man cutting out vices and getting over things that's holding them back. And so what happens is a lot of men will say, well, hey, if this man represents this and represents this and represents this, he may represent a better version of a man than I do. So I'm not going to promote him because I don't want my girlfriend or my wife to see him and see what he represents of manhood, because I don't know if it's real, and I don't really believe it's real because I don't believe in men. And this is what he's telling himself. He's saying that he's never seen honest men. The fact that men have never, so for my whole career, all I have read from guys is he's doing that for butt. He doing that to get HOs. He doing that to get P. And that's all guys would say. And the reason being is because what they're not realizing is that that is a testament to how few real men that we've seen in our life, that we can't look at another man and see another man as a good man. We got to see every man who claims to be doing something positive as a scam artist. And then what happened is we have men who got a whole lot of knowledge, but they done been turned over to a reprobate mind. So they done been turned over to the devil. And so they talk about all of this black people stuff, black people stuff, black people stuff, but then they overcharging for courses, they overcharging for consultations, they getting people money, and they scamming people. So they start saying, hey, I'm building a school. They raise millions of dollars and don't never break ground on no school. So now here go these men who are doctors and philosophers and and all of this. They doing all this talk. They doing all this talk. And so other men look and say, hey, this man over here doing all this talk. He raising millions of dollars talking about he doing a school. I ain't even seen now a piece of land bought. I ain't seen no ground broke. So this man over here, Tony Gaskin, must be a fraud. And then he see the pastor in his city get caught in adultery. He see the relationship coach get caught in adultery. His daddy walked out on his mama. His brother put hands on his sister, on his girl. He done put hands on his girl. He got multiple baby mamas, or he done cheated on every woman he done dealt with. So when he look at himself and he look at the men he know, he does not see examples of real manhood. So therefore, when he see a real man, he can't believe that it's a real man because he hasn't seen enough examples of a real man. So that's why a lot of men don't support other positive men. And ironically, the men who are positive, who get support, is because they're not challenging men in the areas that men are most weak in. So you see, I seen a brother who he calling himself Pan-African, and he born in America, but he wearing the dashikis or whatever you call them, and he calling himself Pan-African, and he doing all of this talk, but he attacking the white man. But then the next thing you know, it's all these text messages and all this stuff released of him sleeping with all these strippers, him sleeping with strippers, him in and out with strippers. And so it's like all this knowledge and all this energy toward the white man, but can't take none of that energy and put it to self-discipline in the bedroom and in a relationship. Preaching black, but can't find a black woman and treat her like a black queen. Instead, treating black women like peasants. And then some of these men who doing all this talk about economics and all of this right here and black, want to get black women and then have 2, 3, 4 girlfriends, 2, 3, 4 wives, but want to talk about black empowerment while they breaking the back of black women. And so when they see somebody like me who represent a one-woman man, who is loving this woman the way Christ loved the church, that name Jesus Christ, if they fear that name, because when you have a spirit in you that is in opposition to a righteous spirit, you're going to fear the name of Christ. Demons shudder and shake and run when they hear the name of Christ. And so when they hear me say the name of Christ, they get so scared because they know my light going to expose the darkness that's in them. And so they run to these other gods and they run to these other religions that's going to pacify and condone their irresponsibility. And that's going to give them the right to have multiple wives or multiple girlfriends and have no consequences, have no regulations, have nothing to ask them to sacrifice in the areas where they most weak. And so that's the thing. So you got all these men, black power, black power, black power, and then breaking the back of their own black women, but want to holler about black power. My black power is in uplifting my black woman and loving her the way Christ loved the church. That's when I'm going to show you my black power at first. And then raising my black sons. That's when I'm going to show you my black power at first before I go get out in the street and march. I'm going to take care of home first. But see, it's a lot of men, they going out in the street and marching, but ain't taking care of home. And so they ain't taking care of home. And then the next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, what the world going on? And that's what we got to realize. And Coach Gloria Ann, we not arguing about the Bible. And don't get blocked on here trying to argue about no Bible, because we ain't even said nothing about no Bible. We talking about black men and how black men treat they black women, but yet talking about black this, black that, black that. And it's like Black Wall Street, you first need to take care of Black Main Street, meaning your household. And when you take care of your household and you got you a woman that you loving and you cherishing and you treating like a queen, then you can go out and talk about a Wall Street. But what does it gain? What do we gain to gain the world and lose our soul? What do we gain to have all of this externally and not be able to take care of our temple internally? And understand that, okay, Gloria, you got to preface what you're saying now, because while I'm on here talking, you just can't be posting stuff without no preface now. You got to have a preface on there. Y'all know I don't be playing now. You know, you got to preface that now. Put a whole full sentence on there. So listen, that's why you don't see a lot of, okay, thank you, Gloria. That's why you don't see a lot of men that support me, because I get it. I get it. I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me to support me. It's hard for me to support me. And the reason why it's hard for me to support me is because I have to challenge myself every day. I'm crunching my toes every day. I am checking myself every day. I got to grow every day. My flesh wants to talk any kind of way to my wife. My flesh wants to do everything that every other man is promoting. Your flesh always gonna want you to go to the old you, but I gotta consecrate my spirit daily. And I got to step on my toes daily. So every day I wake up and say, Lord, why did you call me to this? Why you couldn't call me to finances like Dave Ramsey? Lord, why you couldn't call me to building houses? You know, why I couldn't be a fisherman? Like, Lord, why you call me to confront the area that men struggle with the most, that I struggled with in my life the most? And the Lord remind me, I turned Saul, who was a persecutor of Christians, into Paul, who ended up writing 13 books in the Bible. And so that's when I realized that God will use us in the areas where we struggled the most. And so people always try to discredit people who have gone through something for teaching about it. They try to discredit it. That's why I say, you know, if you're single and you done went through a divorce, teach about why you went through that divorce and what you did wrong, instead of teaching the opposite. teach about what you did wrong. And so we have to understand that. And that's why it's a battle. And so guys, I'm gonna tell you, I remember walking through the airport in Charlotte. Do you know I have never, it's so many men that recognize me, even with my mask on. That let me know how hard men be looking at me online, that they recognize me with my mask on. That is the gift of a woman. A woman could recognize, if I had on some my whole face cover, a woman would be like, oh, that look like Tony hairline painted on. Tony Gaskin. That's how women be. Do you know it's men that I be walking the other way and they'll be like, hey, Tony Gaskin? I ain't telling you no lie. And every single man I done met have come up to me and say, hey man, you ain't told now lie. But you ain't lied at all. I have never had a man meet me in person and tell me, hey, you know you're lying. You know you're lying and you know you're wrong and you know you pandering. Never. Every man I have ever met, the only man who has something to say be online. Be online. When I meet men in person, they ask me for a picture. They say, man, my wife gonna love this, or man, my girlfriend gonna love this, or man, my sister is gonna be blown away. Can I take a picture with you? Hey man, you be telling the truth, man. I don't be want to hear it. I don't be want to hear it, man. I can't say nothing, but hey, boy, keep doing what you doing. That's what I hear from men. But online, men want to look tough and cool for other men. So if a man is saying, hey, you need to get one woman and you need to be 100% faithful to that woman, then a man gonna say, a man can't support that. A man can't retweet that, can't repost that. He can't, unless he in the doghouse with his woman. That's when I get the most of my support from men, when they trying to get out the doghouse. Very rarely, I have a handful of men who not in a doghouse who gonna support me publicly and openly because they man enough to not be jealous, to not be insecure, to not be in competition. And that's how that's how they'll be. The reason why I don't get the opportunity to support other men, because I'm working, because I'm in the field, I'm doing the work. So if a man not doing this work, then he watching other people do the work and he doing his work in his lane. So the men who they doing they work in they lane and it's not my lane, I support those men. I'm on their channel, I'm subscribing, I'm liking, I'm sharing it with my clients, and I'm gonna support that. And so that's all it be. So uh, rewind this, screen record it, and anytime you see one of these men, and this type of men is just clowns. I try not to name call, but any type of men is clowns. And it's like, come on, man, use common sense. It's like every man know why men don't support a message like mine, because it's exposing the darkness. But it ain't a man in the world that could tell me I done said something wrong. That me saying that we need to have strong relationships, we need to be faithful to each other, we need to raise our kids in the home loving and caring and showing them the right way, that me showing that me saying that ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't a man in the world that could say, oh, that don't make sense. We need to cheat on each other and we need to have open relationships. That don't make no sense to be faithful and to be monogamous and to raise your kids the right way and be good example. Man, that don't make no sense, man. What you talking about? Can't nobody say that. So they'll rather be quiet or they'll rather hate. And that point blank period, and that's why I got to be louder. Because one thing about it, if a hater gon' hate, hey, I'm going to give you something to hate. Now I'm finna put my foot on your neck. Now, if the devil mad, I'm finna stomp him out. I'm not finna take it easy on the devil. Oh, you want to get loud, or you want to bark, or you got something to say? Oh, I'm finna be even louder. I'm finna disrupt your game that you're playing even more. I'm finna every single woman you taking advantage of and playing with finna be onto your game and finna be out your life. You finna be at home by yourself with a bottle of Jergens and your little subscription to your website, taking care of yourself with Angela. That's all I'm finna leave you left with. since you want to jump bad and have my name in your mouth and go to talking about this and that and yappity yap because you don't want to see us advance. You don't want to see us grow because you're working for the devil. So listen, I'm finna leave you out here starving. I'm finna expose the darkness. I'm finna share so much truth. You start to throw up out your mouth. You're just throwing up them demons. You're throwing up them spirits. I'm finna have you sick to the stomach. When you go to sleep, you're gonna hear my message in your head. It's gonna chase you. It's gonna run behind you. You're not gonna be able to get away from a message. You're gonna turn on the radio, you're gonna hear my message. You're gonna turn on the TV, you're gonna hear my message. Every woman you meet, she gonna be listening to a message from a real man. Cause we finna shift this thing. We finna get a devil a black eye. We finna turn her up on his head. So guess what? I was laying dormant. I was hibernating. But now you done woke up a sleeping giant. And now I'm finna come out there with a conviction from he who sent me. And I'm finna be turning over tables. Just like his son did. So listen to me. Thank you. Thank you for having my name in your mouth. Thank you for calling me out. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for reigniting what God said in me in 2007. Thank you. I'm back. And you gonna feel me, boy. We finna change some things. We finna set captives free. We finna have a healthy relationship. We finna have a whole relationship. We finna have real love. We finna have faithfulness. We finna have kids being raised the right way. Everything finna shift. Everything finna change. Watch what I tell you. The work about to get done. Hey, this is Tony Gaston. God bless you. I went over 20 minutes. God bless you. Y'all watch this here back if you missed any of it. And thanks again to the moderators, and thanks to everybody who sent a blessing on here. God bless you. Thank you to the person that sent me that cash app too. Share posted my cash app. I really appreciate that, share. Hey, God bless y'all. And we'll talk soon. We will talk soon. Okay, the game about to over with. Take this here. All righty, good night now. See right here now what you do. Turn this off right here. Try to save this right here now.